Hello, I'd like to introduce the assignment called the Triple Aim assignment. This is one of the assignments that you'll do in Management 559, Health Sector Management. So before I go into some detailed instructions about this assignment, let me first emphasize why this particular assignment. One of the things that's very important in healthcare today is to be able to embrace innovative thinking and entrepreneurial thinking, what some people might call the entrepreneurial mindset. And this is a critical skill that you will need to develop as a healthcare leader, as maybe even a pharmaceutical leader, whatever leadership position you may hold within a variety of health sectors, environments in the city of Chicago and beyond. So you're probably familiar with the Triple Aim, and the Triple Aim in essence has become the architectural layout or frame, if you will, for the design and delivery of healthcare in the United States today. This assignment will challenge you to take what you know about the Triple Aim and then come up with an innovative entrepreneurial idea with regard to the Triple Aim. So please, let me go into a bit more detail about this assignment so that way you're crystal clear as to the instructions. And if you're not crystal clear, it's up to you to email me at martym@depaul.edu. So that way you absolutely know what's expected of you in this very challenging, but what I have found from students from previous years, a very engaging assignment. So let's dive deep. So the grading rubric is important to take a look at. So if you will note is there's a presentation that you have to deliver. There's also a written deliverable as well. So I really want to note that. So you're going to have a presentation. So this is the grading rubric, and it's very important that you look at two features of this particular grading rubric. So one is that you have the presentation deliverable, and this presentation is worth 10 points. And this is exactly how it will be graded. If you note, question number 1 there is who are you? That's 1 point. Question number 2 is what are you offering? That's 1 point. Question number 3 is who are you offering it to? That's 1 point. Why do they care? That's 2 points, and that's really the value proposition. What are your core competencies? That's 1 point. And then finally, visual and verbal quality of the presentation. Each of those is worth 2 points. Now you also have a written deliverable, which is also worth 10 points. So if you look at it from total, you have 10 plus 10, this assignment is worth 20 points. So let's take a deeper dive into the written deliverable rubric. Proper grammar and syntax, 2 points. Clear, coherent writing, 1 point. Address all of the questions, 5 points. You might be asking yourself, which questions? Those 7 questions. Focus on the Triple Aim. You have to demonstrate some knowledge about the Triple Aim, 2 points. Now, what's exactly expected? So it has to be limited to no more than 2 pages. It must be double-spaced, 12-point font size, and focus on the narrative should be able to explain a tool that I'm going to introduce, which is called the Idea Napkin. So hopefully you have a very good understanding of what's expected for you with regard to the grading rubric and how you will be graded. The presentation deliverable we went over, the written deliverable, as well as some other features of the written deliverable. So this is actually the description of this assignment from the syllabus. It says you will deliver a 5-minute pitch, that's your verbal presentation, of your business idea based upon the Triple Aim. You will be asked to present this analysis using a presentation tool other than, so that's the key word there, it's other than PowerPoint. Such as what? Such as Prezi as an example. And if you will note here, you see the Triple Aim. So the Triple Aim is appropriately highlighted there, and that's the Triple Aim. That's the essence of it. You also have something that's called the Idea Napkin. So what you have to do in this assignment is you're going to come up basically with a business idea that's going to utilize the Triple Aim, and that is the essence of the assignment. So what's a pitch? And remember, the pitch is your verbal presentation. So your 5-minute pitch is going to address these questions. Who are you? What are you offering? Who are you offering it to? Why do they care? And what are your core competencies? And then it will also be assessed based upon verbal as well as visual qualities as well. So let's go through each one of these questions. So when you begin the pitch with the who are you, want to introduce yourself. So give people a little bit of backstory about you, about what your role is, maybe what your major is, why you decided on this concentration, what your degree may happen to be, and why you have decided to focus on this particular business issue. So who are you? The next is, what are you offering? So for some of you that may be from the East Coast, and Baltimore in particular, what you'll recognize is called Arabies. And they still have Arabies that are in Baltimore right now that sell fruits and vegetables. So they're offering things on the street. So what are you offering when you think about your particular pitch? And I remember these growing up, both in Baltimore as well as in New Orleans, as a child, and you having to go run up and get fruits and vegetables, and they still exist today. So your question is, what are you offering? And that must be included in the pitch. The next question, who are you offering it to? So there are two types of offers. There's a B2B, which is business to business. So say you're going to provide services to a health plan, that's business to business, or it could be B2C. B2C is business to consumer, client, or patient. So say you develop a mobile app and you want to do a retail play, so it's an exercise app, so you're going to sell that to individuals. So you have to make a decision whether you're going to offer your services, goods, or products, B2B, another business, and or B2C, consumer, client, or patient. And given the importance of population health and healthcare today, you can also do an offering as it relates to the community or the population. So that's who are you offering it to. This one is extremely important. So this is, why do they care? And in essence, when you think about why do they care, it's all about the value proposition. But it's about the value proposition from the eyes of the customer. So if you look here, you have the customer. The customer could also be the patient, PT for patient. It could also be the client, CL. So you want to begin with that. And when you begin with that, is you want to look at what are the gains that the customer or patient wants to achieve? What are the pains that they're trying to get rid of? And what are certain jobs they want done? As an example, let's say that you're a newly diagnosed diabetic patient. And as a newly diagnosed diabetic patient, the gains are is you want improved health status. You want improvements in your HbA1c. The pains are you don't want to get neuropathy. You want to be able to make sure you eat in a way that your energy level is kind of consistent throughout the day. The jobs to be done, checking your sugars, checking your feet, eating nutritiously, making sure you keep up with all your appointments. So those are certain jobs. So once you know the gains and the pains, let's say, of a newly diagnosed diabetic patient, as well as the jobs that they have to do with regard to maintaining their health status and improving their health status, then your challenge, as a healthcare entrepreneur, if you will, is how do you take those gains and translate them into gain creators? And how do you take those pains and translate them into pain relievers? And all of these fundamentally have to be incorporated in the design of your products and services. And the design of your products and services fundamentally have to be able to fulfill customer jobs. So that, in essence, is why do they care? And the tool is called the Value Proposition Canvas. So that's the tool that you will utilize. So the next one, what are your core competencies? So now you have to sit back and reflect about you as an individual, or if you have a team, the collective, is what are they very good at? What are you very good at? I mean, truly distinguished in, such that you can bring those competencies to the design of your product or your good or services, such that you have the gain creators, the pain relievers, and able to achieve the customer jobs. So what are your core competencies? In other words, why you and why your team with regard to this particular venture? And finally, there has to be an ask of some sort. So when you're doing the pitch, the ask could be another meeting. The ask could be do some due diligence. The ask could be funding. The ask could be, meet with another individual. So it's a whole host of things that the ask could be, but be crystal clear about the ask. One of the things that I've found for previous pitches is students sometimes are reluctant to actually ask the ask, but you want to be able to do that. So asking is not the same as demanding, but you want to make sure there's a next step. So those are the fundamental questions that must be addressed in the pitch. And at the very end, after you've done the ask, there's got to be a close. Yep. So, and it's more than simply see ya or I hope you enjoyed that, but there has to be a close. Maybe it's a story, maybe it's a quote, but you want to leave people with something that resonates with them emotionally, that creates some buzz, if you will. So the close is important. So once again, here's the grading rubric. You have the presentation deliverable, and we went over that in hopefully pretty good detail, and you're very clear about it. And then we also went over the written deliverable as well as the specifications as it relates to page length, font size. So hopefully you have a very good understanding of what's expected of you and how you can really shine and deliver on this part of Management 559 and Health Sector Management. This is an extremely important part of the exercise. So with that, what I would encourage you to do is to make sure that you complete the idea napkin. Once you have the idea napkin completed, that you also complete the value proposition template, and then begin to craft out your written deliverable as well as your verbal presentation, because as you know, at the very end, you will upload those presentations to YouTube, and then I will take a look at those particular presentations. So again, what's the purpose of this particular assignment? It's to take the triple aim, which is kind of an evolving but yet the paradigm and the foundation of healthcare today, and apply that to stimulating you to be more innovative and entrepreneurial as you move along your path to design and redesign the health sector for enhanced outcomes. So hopefully this really does hit the mark and you're crystal clear about this assignment.